Hi guys, so I'm coming to talk to you today about how to save your relationship. Just a little background on myself. I'm a life coach with a background in life coaching. I was a therapist in the past and then transitioned into life coaching. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and process therapist. In a nutshell, I've spent over 10 years at this point in the world of coaching. So this is a really big subject, and if this kind of subject is of interest to you, I want to encourage you to hit the subscribe button below as I will continue to release more videos to help you with your relationships and also nutrition or other aspects that just help you live a fuller, happier life. Also, if you want to get notifications about those videos, make sure to click on the bell as well. So I think that what I was just talking about is a really good segue into this subject. In order to save your relationship, one of the most important things to realize is that to be happy with another person, you actually have to be happy with yourself first. And whether it was in coaching sessions or in my own personal journey with learning how to have a happy relationship, I think this was the hardest thing for me and the hardest thing I see for other people to realize. Whether it's in movies or whether it's just this assumption we have, or whether it's the people that are close to us that sometimes feed this into our mind, we often think, what is this person doing that's making me unhappy? Oh, this person makes me unhappy. Oh, my relationship to this person makes me unhappy. And really, before you can be happy with another person or save a relationship, you have to make sure that you are taking the steps necessary to be a happy person within yourself. If you wake up in depression often or in a bad mood, if you're moody, chances are you're going to feel those same emotions towards your relationship. And if you're two, you're also going to be bringing that into the relationship. And so it's going to be harder for your partner to be happy in the relationship with you as well if you're moody or depressed, because that's what you're bringing to the relationship. So again, the first thing that I want to encourage you to do is become really honest with yourself about whether you're a happy person with yourself. You are the thing that you carry with yourself into everything. Any situation you find yourself in, it's up to you to make yourself happy. And what's so hard about this is this means that we are 100% responsible for how we feel. And I don't like to say 100% because that is a little bit too heavy of a burden and it's not really fair. Sometimes there are life circumstances that are just impossible to be happy in. Whether you've lost your job, whether you're in a pandemic, as we are in right now, whether you're in an abusive situation or you grew up in a life where you never had the support that you were meant to have. Those are situations that make it much harder to be happier than if you had ideal circumstances. But I think, whether it's watching Hollywood stars that have everything or princes and queens on TV, we know that even people who have everything can be unhappy. So that's where we really realize that it starts first and foremost with your relationship with yourself. And just, waking up in the morning and saying, okay, what am I going to do to be happy today, and how am I going to take responsibility for that? Now, the next thing that we don't always talk about so much in the psychology world, but that is a great thing that you can learn from coaches, is that it's not always about talking. Although talking is great, and we'll talk about that in one of our future points in this video, action is a really big component of saving a relationship. And often it can be in the little things. And a relationship is not just a romantic relationship. It's also a best friendship. It's a relationship with a boss. If a relationship is not going well, ask yourself, what steps am I taking routinely to contribute and make this relationship healthy? So for instance, if it's your partner, when you wake up in the morning, do you give your partner a kiss? Do you make your partner breakfast? Do you call them during the day to tell them that you love them? Do you genuinely ask them at the end of the day how their day went and give them your full attention, even for 5 minutes, and listen to them? Do you express physical affection? Do you hold their hand? Even, do you make an effort sometimes to be intimate, even if you don't feel like it, because you know that it's been a long time? These are the kinds of actions that you can take that don't always involve having a super, super long conversation, but are an act. And on that note, if you haven't heard about the book, The Love Languages, that's a great book, but basically what it says is that each of us has a different love language. Each of us expresses love in a different way. So let's say that for you, expressing love might be in talking, but your partner expresses love in actions. And so it's really important to get to know what your love language is and what your partner's love language is, and realize that it's great to express yourself in your love language, but you might also need to understand your partner's love language. Maybe your partner's love language is, hey, I love it when you clean up after me. I'm not capable of cleaning up after myself. When you clean up after me, that to me means that you love me. Or maybe your partner's love language is, hey, it's Valentine's Day. I'm expecting balloons and flowers and a surprise. And some people might get turned off by somebody expressing expectations. But if you're trying to save your relationship, I want to encourage you to take those expectations and see what the deeper meaning is under it. See what your partner's telling you their love language is, because that's what they're telling you. When they're getting angry, underneath that anger is a deep need to show you what makes them feel loved. So actions. On top of the actions, now is time to talk about the talking. Why I decided to talk about actions first and talking next is because sometimes if your relationship is at a breaking point, talking can be toxic. And why do I say that? If you guys are at a point where it's become so negative that everything that you have to say to get to each other is critical about each other, it might do more harm than good. So when we talk about talking, learn how to express yourself in a way that's not belittling, that's not critiquing, and that's coming from an I voice. I feel sad when you talk to me like this. I feel hurt when you do this. But also realize that if you're going to talk and express yourself, make it about revealing yourself to your partner and showing your partner who you are. Make it about a discovery process. I want to share this with you. I want to spend time with you. I want to know about you. Use talking to connect instead of to break. Because oftentimes when we get to a point where we're so angry or we just had enough, sometimes our talking only comes about being bitter or fighting. So I just want to put the warning out about that. At the same time, some relationships break because there is no talking, because these are two partners that are shy, that don't know how to express when they're angry till it's too late and their feelings have gone too far. So yes, talking is imperative. Learn how to use talking to get closer. Make a point of talking every day, but maybe it doesn't have to be for an hour. Maybe it can be 5 minutes. Maybe it can even be 10 minutes. If you have a tendency of being on your phone all the day, just looking your partner in their eyes and having a conversation where you actually look at them can make such a difference in the intimacy levels and can make your partner feel seen. And that might be, the little extra that you can give to your talk. Also, take responsibility for expressing yourself. Oftentimes we don't say when something bothers us on the spot. We don't express it on the spot, and then it builds up into a snowball. So if you express it on the spot, a lot of times it will be less harsh. It will be more relevant. So let's say your partner, often it has an expectation of you and you actually don't like this expectation. In the moment of the expectation, say, hey, I actually don't want to do that. No. Don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to be authentic. And if you do it on the spot, then it's not going to be out of context. It won't be that a month later you blow up on your partner because you're still angry about what happened a month before, and then your partner gets really hurt because they don't even understand why you're holding on to things. So I hope that those tips are a good starting point into how to save your relationship, how to start doing things that bring more positivity into your relationship, that bring more closeness, that bring kind of a new way of doing things into the relationship. If you like this video, please do remember to subscribe below, hit the notification button, and also I really want to encourage you to share some of the things that you've learned so far that help in your relationship in the comment box so that we can all learn from each other. And if you have anything, any questions related to saving your relationships, please do feel free to comment below. I hope these tips are helpful, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.